Good morning, and welcome to Rose Red Homestead. This week we are going to focus on special aspects of food storage. I am just, maybe like you, I'm a little bit nervous about our situation right now. We know that we are living in uncertain times. It's been that way for a number of years, and right now part of the uncertainty is every single time I look at my news feed on my iPhone, there's an announcement, a new article about what foods are going to skyrocket fairly soon. And who knows what to believe about what. One day it's one thing, one day it's another thing, and it just contributes to this feeling of uncertainty. I think that there has never been a more important time for us to work as hard as we can to be prepared for whatever, who knows what this whatever stuff is that we're living through right now. But in any case, being prepared and having an eye toward how we can do things with great economy is really important. And so that's what we're going to be focusing on this week in particular. And then we're going to be starting a series that will be ongoing on budget meals that we can do. So I was looking through my news feed, which is where I get a lot of my ideas. I no longer listen to the news on any channel because I'm having a really difficult time thinking that I'm getting the true story no matter who I'm listening to. So I just kind of pay attention to my news feed, and then I go about my business and do what we can do to be prepared. But I did come across an article, I think it was from Southern Living, on 8 best canned vegetables that we should have available on our shelf. Well, you know that the title of this is the 9, and I'll explain where that 9th one comes in just a few minutes. But I wanted to know what their criteria was as they put forward their ideas. I always enjoy looking at these lists of the 8 best things you can do this with, or the 10 best things that you should have for this, because I sort of use them as measuring sticks to compare, and some of them are just quite ridiculous. And so with any kind of a list like this, we just all need to use our best judgment, as I know we all will. I don't even think I needed to say that, but I wanted to say it anyway to just let you know that I'm not married to these lists. But there are some good ideas here, but their criteria was pretty much the convenience. Well, in this channel, we love convenience, but we also go beyond just the convenience because it has got to give us something in return for our making a selection on a given product besides just being convenient. Although time is money, and we all know that very much so. And so convenience is really a big thing. But we need to also look for nutrition and how it fits within our food plan and what we believe we need to be doing in terms of eating healthy. So I'm going to present the 8 that they gave, and then when we get to the 9th one, I'll explain what we're going to do. So the first thing that they mentioned in their list was black beans. And we have talked about black beans a lot on our channel. This is not a new product that we have talked about having on our shelf. Now, they talked about canned foods from the grocery store, canned vegetables from the grocery store. And they acknowledged in this article that they're not as good as the fresh things, but because of the convenience and because there's still plenty of nutrition in these cans of veggies, it's a really good option because they're already prepped, peeled, diced, whatever it is, and ready to just open the can, heat, and eat. So that's an advantage. Now, one of the things that they say about black beans, well, they didn't give any of the nutrition information, but I looked up nutrition information for all of these. And of course, we've talked about the nutrition of beans, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, about half of the list here is beans of one kind or another. Beans are very nutritious. They're high in protein, they're high in fiber, and it's across the board that way. But these black beans, they can go in soups, they can go in stews, they can go in salads, and they say keep a can or two handy for taco night, burrito night, or black bean and corn salsa. And that would be such a fun thing because we have corn in this list as well. So we can combine two of these and make a lovely salsa, adding a little bit of vinegar, adding a little bit of onion, and we have this great salsa that goes on anything. So black beans. Second is canned potatoes. Now, obviously, I don't buy potatoes in a can because I can my own potatoes, but they do come in a can. And one of the convenience things about buying them in a can is you can buy them in little dices like this that are just perfect for like clam chowder, or you can buy them whole, or you can buy them in chunks like this. And so there is a variety of cuts of potatoes that you can buy in a can. And potatoes have a lot of vitamins and minerals, and they're especially high in vitamin C and potassium. So having a pantry that has some cans of potatoes makes for a lot of convenience, as well as vegetables are still quite economical. And the good thing about buying canned potatoes or having your own canned potatoes is they're already peeled, they're already cut, they're already cooked. You just pretty much have to heat and eat, and these are very versatile. I have made potato salad out of these. I have made mashed potatoes out of these. I've made potato patties out of these. And so you have a lot of options if you have canned potatoes on your pantry shelf. Number 3 on the list is white beans. These particular beans are Great Northern. I also have cannellini that are white beans that I've also canned. I pretty much have home canned most of the beans that are fairly common, so that we have a really good supply of beans that are already canned. So convenient to be able to open a can and flavor it however you want, and not have to start from the dry beans and go through the process of cooking. Although we have plenty of dry beans that we will be doing that with as well. With white beans, they are really high in protein, 17 grams per cup and 11 grams of fiber per cup, so that makes it really nice. You can smash white beans to add to soups for a little bit of thickener that really kicks up the protein, and then you can just spread white beans on a piece of crusty bread toast and sprinkle it with whatever flavorings you want to. That's a great way to do it as well. Then we come to corn. Corn is great for fiber, for vitamins and minerals, and antioxidants. So antioxidants get rid of the free radicals in our body, so that's a pretty good deal. I love canned corn. I've canned corn myself, but I do it from frozen corn. I buy a great big old bag of frozen corn, and then I thaw it as if I had just cut it off the cob and followed the USDA guidelines for canning fresh corn and off the cob. And then I proceed with that. And it's wonderful to have either pints, or we buy these by the case at Costco. My big use for canned corn is I open it and put the whole thing, liquid and all, into our taco soup. But one of the things that was mentioned was the corn and black bean salsa, which is also a really good idea. You can add it to tomato soup. You can mix it with rice and beans and roll it up in a tortilla for a burrito. Throw in some hamburger. It's very, very versatile. And it's pretty. It gives a nice color pop as well. So those are really nice. Next on the list is artichoke hearts, and we buy these tall jars of artichoke hearts. You can get them in this size can. We like the marinated artichoke hearts. We get these jars, I think they come 2 or 3 to a package at Costco, and we have quite a few of these in our food storage because they make such a nice addition. Artichoke hearts have that wonderful, well, we think it's wonderful, snappy taste. And we just did the artichoke and asparagus frittata, and boy, did we ever love that. It was just wonderful. So they work well in dips, in appetizers, and they are especially wonderful in salads. Pasta salads, too. They're just great. And they add low-fat, low-calories, vitamin C and K, and they lower the bad cholesterol, the LDL, and they're very high in fiber. So these are a wonderful thing to have on our pantry shelves. Next is green beans. And I also can my own green beans. And once again, I buy great big bags of frozen green beans and then can them that way. I also keep smaller packets. I buy a big bag of the frozen of green beans, and then I repackage it in serving sizes for us and keep those little packets in the freezer. So we have green beans there. And green beans have a lot of versatility as well. You can buy them, the long beans or the cut beans like these are. Let's see, what are these? Oh, these are the French cut green beans. So they slice them vertically and that way, so whatever your heart desires in terms of green beans, it's available. And they are an excellent source of vitamins A, C, and K. And they are very rich in fiber as well. And they go with everything. I love green beans mixed with mashed potatoes. That's really a nice little side dish too. We like that. There are also different varieties of green beans. You can get the wide Italian ones that are also very nice. So then we have two more, black-eyed peas. Now, black-eyed peas I didn't grow up with at all. I never had black-eyed peas growing up. And since this list came from Southern Living magazine, well, and it's their online publication, I am not a bit surprised because in the South, these are very, very popular. I have a brother-in-law from the South, and he likes a lot of these too. They are also very high in protein and fiber and essential amino acids as well. We have a few cans of these. I have some recipes that call for black-eyed peas. And the Texas Caviar that we made a video on, I'll put the link in the back. I think I have a link on that. I think Jim didn't we make a video on Texas Caviar? Cowboy Caviar, that's what it was.
Yeah, okay.
Cowboy Caviar. And I'll put the link to that. And the author of this article said that they are almost perfectly seasoned right out of the can. So I would not know about that because I don't know what perfectly seasoned ones taste like, but I guess you open a can and you can find out. Then, last of all, is red beans. And red beans, I have kidney beans here, but there are small red beans, any kind of red beans. And they are a favorite with chili. We're going to be doing some things with chili here in a not too distant future. And of course, the advantage is that all of these are cooked and ready to go. Now, those are the 8 that came from Southern Living. Now, there are some here that I will store a lot of and some that I will hardly store any of. And you are most likely the same way. Some I may not store anything at all, although I do have all of these things in storage. But I thought that it would be really fun for us to share if this list were 9 instead of 8. What would your 9th one be? What would you add to this list? Well, and tell us which ones you wouldn't use. You might even add 2 or 3, but I thought, the great value, one of the great values of our channel is the comments. And people have told us that over and over again. They learn so much, not just from the videos, but also from the comments of other people. So give us your ideas on what your basic ones would be, not just for convenience, but also for good nutrition and good budget choices as well. So here is my number 9. My number 9 is pureed pumpkin. Last year, Jim ran into a sale, and I think he brought home 30 of these cans. I think they were $1 a piece or something.
Something like that.
So anyway, and I have learned a lot of ways to use pumpkin puree besides making pumpkin pies. So pumpkin is a very nutrient-dense food. It has a low sugar, high fiber, beta carotene. Beta carotene is converted into vitamin A, so they're very nutritious, and it strengthens the immune system, so we're glad to have it on our shelf. So here's a list of things that we can make with our pumpkin puree. Risotto, soups, breads, a lot of different types of desserts, pancakes, crepes, a lot of things. So your assignment is to tell us what you would omit and what you would add, and what you would add for your number 9. what other things do you think are really, really valuable that are vegetables in a can? Canned vegetables is what we're after here. I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that we can all find great sales on the canned goods that we would like to stock up on for nutrition and good food for our families in these uncertain times when we're all in the same boat together on this. And so the more we can help each other out, the better. So thank you so much for being with us, and we'll see you in a couple of days for another video on having to do with things that we can put in our food storage.